everyone. I hope you can hear me above the fan I got going. I got the air conditioner on and the fan. It's like super hot in here. But anyway, we'll start on Bible study. James. And the author of James is his half-brother. Well, the author of James is James. James is the half-brother of Jesus, leader in Jerusalem church. And it was written around AD 49, prior to the Jerusalem Council held in AD 50. The Council of Jerusalem decided that Gentiles converted to Christianity are not obligated to keep most of the law of Moses, including the laws on males having to be circumcised. However, they still held on to the law of not eating meat that has blood still in it, animals being properly slain, fornication, and idolatry laws, sometimes referred to as the apostolic Decree of Jerusalem, Quadrilateral. James the Just and Paul was in this council. And the word Gentile means someone who is not a Jew, so an outsider. Being a Jew is not a specific race, it's a religion and not a color of someone's skin. Being an Israelite, however, is black people or black people. I believe I said in one of my past videos. I don't know why I'm getting my words mixed up here lately, guys. Bear with me. In one of my past videos, I know I talked about if the Israelites being black people. Some people, they like to hold on to the idea of Jesus and the Israelites being white, blonde hair, blue eyes, because that's what they grew up on. But as you get older and you start to actually read the Bible, you, instead of listening to your Sunday pastor every morning, just actually pick it up and read it. You start to see who the people actually are, who they really are. It's more than just stories. Is the book of Jeremiah and the book of Ezekiel, the book of Hebrews, they really tell you like who these people are. And as you know, the Levites who are in Ethiopia, they have the original Bible, and they are in control of that. But the people were black. And I say, and I'll tell anyone, do your research. Don't listen to, if you're a white person, don't listen to your grandparents because on that. And I say that because a lot of them were raised with very racist views. And I was actually, because I get into debates with people on Facebook a lot. And I think it's hilarious, but I think I get up under some people's skin, especially when I mention that Jesus is black and the Israelites are black. I mean, boy, the hate that comes my way when I just mention that Jesus is black. Not that he could be black, but that he is black, you know. Black people, we are the most hated and despised, just like Jesus. Jesus was hated and despised everywhere he went. The only people who didn't hate or despise him was the people that belonged to him. And like Jesus said, his sheep know him by his voice. But Jesus is definitely, he's black. And I don't care about the racist white people who want to stay stuck in their delusion of being, I'm talking about the racist white people. I'm not talking about all white people. Because there are some white people who know the facts. You know, they actually have done the research and they know what I'm talking about, and so they're not mad at it. You know, you can't be mad at truth. And I'm not saying that, you know, Jesus is black because I'm black. I'm not. Well, I'm a mixture. I'm black, Native American, and white. Because, well, the white side comes from my dad's side. His mother was mixed. So he came out when he was a baby. He looked like a white baby at first, just like my brother. When my brother came out, he looked like he was a white baby. And then when I came out, people thought I was white as a child, like a baby. But yeah, so I'm not saying it because of my race. I'm not saying it, you know. I'm saying it because it's truth. I'm saying it because it's facts. I'm saying it because it's real. Jesus was a black man. Everything that has happened to Jesus is happening to black people and has happened to black people. I mean, when Jesus said, you know, when people hate you, you know, don't worry about it because they hated him first. He's talking to us. He's talking to people of color. You know, because he knew the future. He knew what was going to happen when the white people, the Europeans, came out of the caves. Because white people started out, their ancestry, they started out as what you would call Neanderthal. Like, and I'm not saying it to be funny or to joke. I mean, that is what they taught in school, and that is what they still teach. That's where they come from. But they had us thinking that that's what we came from too, and that's not true. We didn't. We people of color, and I'm not just gonna say black people. I'm just gonna say people of color, because when you say black people, you automatically think African. But there's more, you know, than just African when it comes to people of color. People of color can be Asian, Native American, Japanese, you know. So I'm just gonna say people of color. People of color were doing some amazing things with technology, with science, with math. You know, our people was just doing some amazing things, and while the Europeans were still in the caves. But I don't know exactly what happened. I kind of have a theory, but I don't really know exactly what happened that made them have that much hate towards us to do what they did. I mean, they have, they brainwashed us. They brainwashed their own people. They brainwashed, and if you don't believe me, look up Willie Lynch's letter. That shows you what they did to us, to the black people that came to America, and the black people that was already here, because they'll have you thinking that black people, that all black people came on the ship. Most of us was already here. Black people and Native Americans lived together. And see, that they don't tell you that part. That's why the black people that's here in America look Native American, have Native American features, because we live with them. We were the Native Americans. And if you look back on the Trail of Tears of the Cherokee, look back at the painting. Those were black people. Now, they whitewashed a lot of things, you know, but and I know I'm getting away from Bible, but I'm not really getting away from it. I think that it's important to know who these people are in the Bible when you're doing Bible study. And I think it's important for black people to know where we come from, and for other people to know as well. You know, and I think that's where true healing can begin. When you know who you are, when you know where you come from. And even a lot of white people have been lied to. They don't even know that the Bible is for us. You know, some of it is for them. And when God talks about, because he does talk about the outsiders, the foreigners. He was talking about foreigners. He was talking about them. He was saying that he will let them in if they obey him, if they listen to him, they have the love of God in their heart, you know. Then yeah, he'll let them in. He'll let them in the gates of heaven too, you know. Because biblically, black people and white people are brothers, siblings, because they come from Jacob and Esau. Esau is the father of the Europeans, the white people, and Jacob is the father of the black people, the Israelites, the black Israelites. There were Africans who was not Israelites, because there's some Africans to this day that would they wasn't Israelites, and they'll tell you. But a lot of them would tell you that the black people here in America are the Israelites. When we were set free, that's I forgot the name of it, but when we were set free, in the letter, in the notice, it called us Israelites. So even the white people, the Europeans, they knew who we were. We just didn't know who we were, because they had wiped our minds clean. We didn't know where we came from. We didn't know our language. We didn't know our history. We didn't know anything, because they had beat it and wiped our minds clean. They beat it out of our ancestors. But now we're waking up, you know. And a lot of black people still don't realize that the Bible is for them. They'll say, well, that's the white man's Bible. No, that's not the white man's Bible. And he knows it's not his Bible. That's why they don't follow it. Those white supremacists, they don't follow nothing in that Bible, because they know it's not for them. Is mainly for us. And what I find amazing is that through all of that, God did not let them take out the main parts in the Bible that we need. to know who we are. All we have to do is just pick it up and read it, and ask God for spiritual guidance. Because when you read in the Bible, it's from a spiritual standpoint. A lot of it can be confusing to those who don't read it from a spiritual standpoint. You have to read it from a spiritual standpoint. I done talked about 15 minutes about this. So let's get on to the Bible study. James chapter 1 verse 1. James states this letter is to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad, because we got scattered. And the 12 tribes of Israel does not include Europeans. So of course, when they realized that it didn't include them, they said that the 12 tribes of Israel was false, it was fake. But it's in the Bible. So if everything in the Bible is true, that would mean that is true as well. Because white Europeans, they're the Edomites, I believe. I could be mistaken, but I do know they came from Esau, and I believe Esau is the father of Edomite. And I know that Esau is the father of the Europeans. But I could be wrong. For those who know what I'm talking about, correct me if I'm wrong. James chapter 1 verse 2 through 18. Troubles of any kind are a test of your endurance, your faith. It provides an opportunity for your faith to grow and cause great joy, in which you will develop into a perfect and complete being, needing nothing. Ask only God for wisdom. When you ask, be sure your faith is in God alone. Do not waver or have divided loyalty, meaning stay strong in your belief. Your requests will be answered, and do not have loyalty to God and the world, because if you do, God will know you are unstable in everything that you do, and you will not receive anything from the Lord, and don't expect to receive anything from the Lord. Some people who are evil and with divided loyalties think God be answering their prayers, but it don't be God answering their prayers. A lot of times people get things from the devil and they think it's from God. You have to also remember who God said is the God of this world. The God of this world is Satan. That's why a lot of this evil stuff is going on. Because just think about it, if God was God of this world, none of this evil stuff would be happening. But that's why so a lot of stuff is happening is because the devil is the God of this world. But don't despair and don't be afraid, because God said even though Satan is God of this world, when you listen to him and obey him and love him with your heart, you will be blessed in the enemy's land. You will be blessed on earth. The devil can't touch you. His minions can't touch you. You will not suffer the fate that evil people suffer, And also just beware, we all have trouble. Excuse me. We all have troubles. And no one is immune to that. As long as you're down here, you got some kind of trouble, some kind of difficulty that you face. But always face it with, God. Because with God, nothing can defeat you. Giants, may seem, like they're invincible. But with God, giants always fall. And you look at your troubles, and they look like giants, but just know that with God, your troubles will fall. And you gotta keep that faith. You gotta keep that faith. Faith is believing and leaning on God. And when you lean on God, that means you was talking to God. Like you close your eyes, you go with it, and you talk to God. and you pick up that Bible, read it, the Bible actually blocks a lot of negativity, a lot of negative thoughts. So when you're having trouble and it seems like that it won't ever go anywhere, just know that it will pass as long as you have God with you. If it seems like it's not passing, then you need to work on yourself spiritually so that it passes. Because that's what I had to do. I had to work on myself spiritually, because it just seemed like a long, long time ago when I was younger, it just seemed like I was just having bad luck. And I'm like, I'm a good person. I never did anything bad or wrong to anyone, but, I was doing bad and wrong to myself by how I was thinking. But, I had to change my thinking habits, because I was a negative thinker. I defeated myself before anyone else could, so yeah, but I had to really do some work on myself spiritually and mentally, to knock that barrier down. And that's what I think a lot of people need to do. It takes work and it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. You got to be willing to put in the work for yourself, just like, and it's worth it. Why sit and be miserable, when you can work towards making, a better life for yourself and to make yourself feel better, And the only way you're going to do that is you got to fix yourself inside, and that's spiritually. And the only way you're going to truly fix yourself inside, and that is through God. Because can't nobody fix you or help you like God. God created you. He know everything about you. Even you may think that you messed up, may think your mind messed up or your soul messed up, whatever. But remember, God created your soul and He created your mind. And if you ask God to fix it and heal you and help you, He will. Also know that a lot of times, when God is fixing and healing you, is painful. But know that the pain will go away and you will be stronger and better because of it. The healing process can be very painful. Reviving the soul, you feel like you have a dead soul or whatever, and you ask God to revive your soul, that process can be painful. And so, and it does take time, but I would say it's worth it. It is very worth it. Very. Because, when you get to the other side, you start to see there's more to life than just negativity and darkness. You start to see the light. You start to see the joy. And start to appreciate, you actually start to appreciate, joys and happiness a lot better when you have went through troubles. But just know, like James said, all troubles are a test of your endurance. It is to make you stronger. So let's continue. Believers who are poor, and this is still James chapter 1, verse 2 through 18. Believers who are poor have something to boast about because God has honored them. Believers who are rich should boast that God has humbled them. For the rich will fade away with all their achievements. The poor will fade away like a flower in a field. God blesses us who patiently endure testing and temptation. Afterward, they will receive the crown of life that God promises to all those who love Him. I know this video is kind of long. I think I may make a part 2. So I'm going to stop right here. And when you're ready, you join me for part 2. But before I end, I just want to say, you know, being poor, going through troubles, is a blessing from God. And it doesn't seem like it, but it is. If you can realize what you're going through is a blessing, and to realize that there's an other side to that. It's not just one sided. You realize to the other side of your troubles, there's a blessing on the other side of it. You know, there's always a blessing coming around that corner, you know, and you gotta think that, you gotta believe that. And when you do, it happens. You know, and when that blessing comes, you appreciate that blessing a whole lot more because of what the troubles you went through. You know, it humbles you. Having troubles humbles a person. It really does. When you handle it the right way, when you handle it in the spiritual way, you realize how it has humbled you as a person. So that's all I'm going to say for this part, because I'm kind of cutting it close to 30 minutes. So I'm going to end this part, and I'm going to do a part 2 to this video. And if you want to join me for part 2, click on the next video. See you next video.